And to the lingering petrol scarcity that has now left residents of Lagos and the nation's capital stranded for most parts of the day. TVC News senior reporter Theophilus Elama monitors the situation in Lagos. He now reports.
Long queues are back in the nation's commercial center. Vehicles lined up on a Monday morning as many await to buy petrol, which has become unavailable for days. Illegal merchants, known as black marketers, are also having a field day, selling petrol at higher than the normal price. I tried to engage one of the illegal merchants who said there has been low supply to fuel stations for some days, leading to the long queues at the nearby fuel station. While the queues persist, some guys complain of the treatment met with them in the process of getting the petrol.
And do for is to bring down the fuel. The subsidy is affecting us here and there. The subsidy that they remove is giving us a headache.
Getting to 30 to 1 hour now. The line itself is not moving. We are still battling to even get fuel. Still with our own money, but we are still here. It's something else.
Meanwhile, people are stranded on the road as the fuel crisis takes its toll. Traffic has also been the order of the day as queues spill into major roads. Despite the seeming annoying situation, many here seem to have some optimism still left in them.
I believe Nigeria is a great country, and I pray God will continue to bless this country. Even the government, even Tinubu, fine, is not that easy for him, but I pray God will lead him through.
Around 7, I went to Alakpere side, so there was no fuel. So here now, I've been here almost 2 hours now, so I didn't get the fuel. Everywhere there is scarcity of fuel.
Petrol scarcity in the nation has dealt a huge blow on the economy of many. Even black marketers are taking advantage of the situation to sell at exorbitant price, which is far higher than the official rates put forward by the government. Many Nigerians are concerned about this development and have called on the government to quickly ensure that this is nipped in the bud. Theophilus Elama, TVC News, Lagos.
Chief Executive Officer Raven Energy, Dario Samo, joins me on the news this hour. Mr. Samo, what do you consider the main factors contributing to the current fuel scarcity as we speak?
Thank you very much. Essentially, it's rather unfortunate that we found ourselves back in fuel scarcity. A confirmed report indicate that the current scarcity is triggered by the supply chain challenges by the NNPC, the sole importer of petroleum product at the moment. And that could be narrowed down to either the availability of cargo, disruption to supply chain operators, or adverse weather. And if you eliminate the last two, I mean adverse weather, the weather has been somehow good lately, and that means we are left with two of the variables, that is availability of cargo and the internal processes of NNPC. We are talking of the availability of cargoes. Now you have to look at it. How is NNPC sourcing their products? Do they have enough money to bring in cargo to feed the nation? That is number one. Two, then you equally have yourself, what role is dollar playing in making available the product?
Yes.
So you now go back to the final variable that could trigger scarcity, which is the supply chain mechanism being adopted by the NNPC. That could be a challenge given the recent integration of NNPC together with Rwanda. Those are the three internal variables that are driving scarcity at the moment.
Well, this is one scarcity too often this year. Are there emergency measures that you think government can adopt, or perhaps the stakeholders involved, to reduce the hardship being experienced by many Nigerians?
Absolutely. The Nigerian oil and gas downstream sector is robust enough to cure whatever challenges may confront it. And I can assure you that stakeholders in the industry are making effort just to ameliorate the challenges the populace is facing. One of those mitigants is to make sure that, look, there is adequate loadout at the various depots where stock are available. And secondly, is to make sure that operators that are working in this environment put in extra hour to ensure that optimal loading are observed across all the terminal coastal depots across the nation. They equally have to look at it too. Even when you have the stock at the coastal depot, you equally have to look at the road. How motorable are the roads? How long does it take you to move product from Lagos, then the distribution hub to get to the upper north? These are some of the challenges that the operators are looking at, and essentially nobody's enjoying it at the moment.
Is it clear why there is so much disparity in how much this commodity is sold? You look at the queues, for instance, it's perhaps in those places where they are still selling at 560-something naira. There are other filling stations that sell at a little above 600. There are filling stations where there are no queues at all, where the commodity go as high as 900 naira per liter. Help us understand the dynamics behind this pricing.
Thank you very much. You see, there are a lot of variables. If you look at the cost matrix of a typical landing cost of an oil and of petroleum product, being the most commonly used by the populace, you saw that there's a big factor that freight carries. I'm not going to pay the same amount if I'm taking my product to Ibadan and somebody going to Kaduna. These are the variables that add up to increase the cost of the landing cost eventually, because you add your cost of purchase, you equally add your freight cost and other incidentals. People going up north tend to pay higher than we that are in the southwest over here. However, the best way to make sure that this perennial scarcity is being addressed, to make sure, one, the refinery must work. Thank God that Dangote now is up, but there's been between being up and running. It has to be up and running. Equally, all the modular refineries around to be producing to support whatever Dangote is producing. But ultimately, the local refinery being owned by the government needs to be functioning very well, and not just functioning, but producing PMS at optimum quantity to be able to feed the populace.
I hear you clearly, but you know, the distance between some of these filling stations I'm talking about is just a stone throw, and the pricing are remarkably different.
Yes, it's a function of where you source your product, and you equally look at the greed index of the operators. Some people are actually greedy. We have some very unscrupulous business people who believe, who are looking at their replacement cost rather than profit. And this is where, assuming you bought a product for 900 naira and you are selling for 950, you already make 50 naira. But some people are looking at, if I sell for 950, I'm going to replace at 1,000 too. So I'd rather sell for 1,000 than selling for 950. So we need to appeal to everybody to play their own part to make sure that this thing is ameliorated.
Managing Director, Riven Energy, Dario Samuel, thank you for talking to us on the news tonight.
Thank you for having me.